Intergalactic.
We don't see it yet.
But you saw it in the title.
There we go.
Intergalactic is preparing for backlash. That's what I had to put in my title, as Mr. RC Polygons has pointed out. There's only so much space, okay? So I had to choose my words. So Intergalactic preparing for backlash. That's right. There's a tweet that was posted by Naughty Dog World here, who kind of gives us the information as to what's going on. Now, first of all, before I even get into the tweet, let's just all acknowledge that Intergalactic is in rough shape, not as a game, but as a brand.
Agree.
Right? As an IP right now, people are not happy with it. I think the that ratio between likes and dislikes is still like the biggest, ratio ever for dislikes to likes. Like, it's like stupid. Like, people just like hate the idea of this game. And I think I said it once before, but that chick who's in Intergalactic is the girl from
The Last of Us.
Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like since Intergalactic is clearly so far away, maybe they should have waited to after the show,
right?
So people could know who she was, and show it that way instead of like, instead of just the way that it was.
But I'm not sure that her character.
Man, I don't think it was going to help the situation.
Yeah, I don't think that was going to help.
Know who she was and why.
I feel like the
chosen.
character she plays in the Last of Us show was not going to do her any favors for Intergalactic.
No.
So that may have made things worse.
Agreed. So let's read the message. So, star of Intergalactic, the heretic prophet, Tati Gabriel, has spoken about how she received boot camping from Neil Druckmann in response to the hate that Laura Bailey received for her role as Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. Okay, well, first of all, that's a wild comparison. So
that is, unless, listen, I don't know if they're talking about what the game is actually about, but to have people see her and not know much about the game versus Abby, who went ahead and, you guys, killed Joel, right? Who was beloved. I mean, that's just, I don't know. Those are apples and oranges.
And plus, Abby is a muscular, woman in the video game. The actor that they chose did not necessarily fit, the image that you gave us of the character in the game. So, I mean, that's also an issue. Like, they probably should have got like Ronda Rousey or somebody to play as Abby, who more like looks the part as opposed to, Laura Bailey, who may be a great actor, but she just doesn't necessarily
She's really good.
fit what people wanted to see. Like, people didn't want to see I can't think of her name, Game of Thrones girl that plays Ellie. They didn't want to see her as Ellie. They wanted to see someone who looked closer to what
she's from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she was the little lord lady who commanded the army. She was the little lord lady.
I didn't know
that had all the spunk.
It's from Game of Thrones. I never watched. We never got past the second episode. Now I think we tried watching the second episode.
Yeah, she's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
we couldn't get past the first episode. Then we forced ourselves.
Yeah, she's a Mormont. She's a Mormont.
That's real wild.
Interesting.
That's real wild.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I did not watch that. That's wild. Okay, well, I mean, at least it gives me a little bit of perspective why she was used, because she at least was in a famous show, as opposed to me just thinking that they just plucked this chick out of the fucking obscurity. Like, who's the craziest looking chick that I can find? You win. Like, it was real wild. It was real wild. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. That gives me a little more context. Abacab says Ponies also sent death threats to Laura Bailey's newborn child at the time.
Oh, wow.
That's real wild. First of all, Abby, member for 13 months, man. Appreciate
Thank you
fam.
so much.
Appreciate you. That's real wild.
That's good. People get so caught up. Like there's such a thing as like, you know what? I don't like this, or I do like this, and let's continue or not. Like you have a choice. You don't have to like go ahead and make it your life.
And Laura
It's
Bailey did
wild.
she did what she was supposed to do. She's looking for work. She's looking for a job. It's not, it's
People
on
get
them.
so caught up. Like these stories, like this isn't real. Like
Yeah.
Jill's not real. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like Laura Bailey does not give a fuck about what Abby looked like in the damn video game. She's just looking for a check,
Exactly.
She's doing what she's supposed to do.
That's wild.
Big facts. And Laura Bailey's a pretty good actress. Doesn't she play Kate in Gears?
Yeah, I think so.
Gears 5 and 4, I guess, right?
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's pretty talented. You know what I'm saying? She knows how to play characters. And I honestly, I know, listen, I don't give a fuck. I tell you guys know already. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry, I can't help you. But you guys, I fucking love Last of Us is my shit. Okay. Out of PlayStation's fucking arsenal, Last of Us is my shit. And I loved fucking
you loved the second game.
I love part 2. I think
which
that game was
a lot of people didn't.
Honestly, I kind of like it better than part 1. To be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, listen, I went through the same roller coaster.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Like,
if you don't beat the game, you're always gonna look at Abby. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, did you feel that and just kind of got past it? Got past that part? Like,
yeah, because unlike the show, which is so fucking stupid and shitty and desperate, you don't know that Joel killed Abby's father when you're playing the fucking game. You don't know. So that whole first segment, like the whole first part of the game, you're playing as Ellie. And obviously, you're like, what the fuck? Like, of course, let's kill this bitch. Let's go find her. I'm down.
Yeah.
And then the way that once they flip it, and then you're playing on that side, and you start seeing her world, and you start seeing what's going on, and then you start to realize
you start to feel
that
her.
You only feel the way you feel about Abby because you already have a previous, affection for Joel and Ellie.
Yeah, the relationship, and you play that perspective. Yeah,
but if you put yourself in her shoes, if you put yourself in Abby's shoes, who would you not kill, or who would you not? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what wouldn't you do? Yeah,
exactly. Like, what would you do to get revenge for somebody taking your mother or father away from you at that pivotal moment in your life? You know what I'm saying? Especially growing up now in a world where that's fucked. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have any of that parent relationship to get you through the hard times. Of course, bro, I would have done the same thing. And then as soon as you see it, right, by the end of it, I hated Ellie. I did. I was Team Abby all the way, bro. I'm still Team Abby all the way. The show is wild the way they're doing it. I don't know why they're doing it this way. You can't go back and try to frame it the other way now, because you already gave us the card that was played. You already told us in the show that Abby's dad was the one that Joel killed. You told us that. We didn't know that in the game. So we were able to kind of go through this like emotional roller coaster. And then when the impact was there, they told you, like you knew. You know what I'm saying?
Then it all kind of made sense.
Then
but we were wondering though, like, how were they going to do? Were they going to split the second game into 2 seasons, like season 2 and 3, to go ahead and give you the perspective of Ellie, and then go ahead and give you the perspective of Abby, and then have it kind of like gel together? So I guess they didn't want it overcomplicated, which is silly because they only have 2 games. So if you have the show and it's doing well, why not take that route?
Yeah. It's dumb. They should have fucking held it. They should have held it. They should have just let everybody wonder, why was Joel getting attacked like this, and then leave it on the cliffhanger. And literally the cliffhanger could have been like, do you not know what he did? And then I don't know, something, anything.
It does reeks of desperation because I feel like they wanted to obviously adapt it, right, for TV, and they maybe felt like people maybe wouldn't continue to watch along, like kind of not knowing what really took place here, and now the main protagonist is gone. I don't know. They always make bad decisions, though.
Listen, I see the chat talking shit about spoiling. Listen, I don't
Oh,
give a fuck.
with what? The show,
PlayStation
the
has
game?
released The Last of Us
About 800
48
times.
If you haven't picked one of them to play it, fuck it. All right, fuck it. It's past due.
Like 7 remakes later, you still haven't played it.
Seriously, though,
it's crazy,
and it's on PC. So
come on, man. I see Meet the Cheater, my homie.
Yo,
too. That's what's up. Team Abby, hell yeah.
Oh,
it's just the way it is, man. Ryuar says you hate Ellie by the end. Yep.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Okay.
It's real wild. It's
Damn.
real wild. But all right, getting back to this.
Okay.
Sorry. So
this is a wild comparison, though.
It is. Okay, so now the quote. I got a lot of love, but wait. Maybe I could just read the
whole article.
Maybe I should just read the article. I didn't realize that it was.
We'll see how
it was right
what
there.
Pops up.
All right, hold on. Here we go.
There we go.
The Last of Us Part 2 online backlash prompted Naughty Dog's next star to get boot camping from Neil Druckmann. I got a lot of love, but there was a lot of hate. I mean, I get it. Okay. The star of Naughty Dog's next game has said she received preparation for the role, and specifically the online reaction to it from studio boss Neil Druckmann, following the online abuse previously kicked up around The Last of Us Part 2. Also, a little timeout. Why? Like, at this point, like, you're intentionally making shit to annoy people.
Mm-hmm.
Am I crazy?
I mean, it sounds like he's aware of what he's doing.
He's like, yo, people are gonna
about to
hate
get
this
some
shit,
real
so
heat,
get
yo.
ready. Like, what the? How about?
Yeah.
Like, who does that? Like, hold
The
on,
worst-
listen. This is what's gonna happen to you. Abuse.
And this is like his last game, right? Like he wants to get out of the.
Supposedly, I thought he was done.
Yeah, so this
Still
might be his last game, so he's gonna leave PlayStation with the mess to clean up afterwards.
Oh my god, he's gonna launch the game and just drop the mic and be like, "I'm out. See you guys. I'm retiring, guys. See you later." It just seems wild. Like, why purposeful? Like, it's different if you're making your art or whatever it is, and just the intentions of telling the story, and then people react the way they react. But you're coming into this like, oh, they're gonna hate this shit. Be ready, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, be ready. You thought that was bad. They ain't done it. Wait till it drops. Like that. That's real wild. All right. Actress Tati Gabriel will star as bounty hunter Jordan A. Mutt. Jordan's a man. Jordan,
it's a unisex name. Yeah.
Jordan a man. Jordan a man. You don't see that relation right there?
Wow, yo.
Hold on.
What
am
is
I
he
cracked?
doing? No, you're not.
Jordan Amun. Did y'all know that was the full name?
No, I just found out.
No.
That's wild.
Okay, hold on. Yo. So the game gets massive backlash, right? For the look of the woman playing her, right? Because she's bald, and that's and they don't like the look, right? That's what the internet says. They go crazy. So then you say, cool. I'll take your online hate for her bald head, and I'll raise you, literally calling her Jordan's a man. So come on, it's so close. Jordan a man, like, I feel like there is an accent that would say Jordan a man when they're trying to say Jordan's a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like that's something that would happen. That's real wild to call it that.
Yeah, that's a bit on the nose. Like
Music says mun. A male nun? What the fuck? That would be called a priest, would it not? I'm a little confused. Yeah, that's real wild to me. That's real wild to me. I'm very very confused. Why would they? Come on, it's a made-up character. You can name it anything you want. Jordan Amun. I don't know. That sounds crazy work. All right. In Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, Naughty Dog's upcoming sci-fi project for PlayStation 5. While Gabriel, while Gabriel has worked close to video games before on PlayStation's Uncharted film adaptation and as Nora in the Last of Us TV series, this will be her first video game role. She was in Uncharted?
The film adaptation, the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah.
I watched that movie.
We watched it.
I mean,
I don't remember seeing her.
The movie's not very memorable for me, at least.
Possible.
Damn.
All right. In preparation,
maybe her hair was longer.
Maybe she had hair. I get that. In preparation, Gabrielle said she had been given mental boot camping by Druckmann, and she becomes the face of the game. So do you think she would walk in and they would just start calling her names? You know what I'm saying? Just going at her as soon as she walked in the door, like boot camp. You know what I'm saying? Like they just
to prep her?
Just to prep her. Like say just heinous shit to her. So she could just be like, nothing you can say to me is worse than what they said to me. You know what I'm saying? You don't think
I've been prepped for this.
I don't know how else you prep for that. You know what I'm saying? It said boot camp. I feel like that's the only way that it would work. All right. As she becomes the face of the game, Neil's been boot camping me. I know Troy Baker's experience. I know Ashley Johnson's experience. I know Laura Bailey's experience, referring to the backlash Bailey received for her turn as The Last of Us Part 2's Abby. Prior to The Last of Us Part 2's release, Abby's role as a character that kills Joel was leaked, sparking a wave of online abuse and death threats aimed at Bailey and her son. Every time I went online, that's all I saw. Bailey revealed previously as part of the game's behind-the-scenes documentary, Grounded 2, Making The Last of Us Part 2, which was released in February last year, death threats and threats of violence. Gabrielle revealed that, like Bailey, she too has been the subject of backlash since it was announced she would star in Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Already, she has had misogynistic and racist comments sent her way. I got a lot of love, but there was a lot of hate over me being a woman, me being a woman of color, me having my head shaved, all these things that I didn't even actually initially see. I'm out of the social media zeitgeist for that reason. But once I did, Neil Druckmann was like, ignore it. No matter what, me and you, we're going to make something beautiful. We're going to make something that we're proud of. I mean, that looks like a gameplay clip. Listen, I'm waiting. I can't wait to see what they're going to show us next on this.
So it sounds like this may be the PlayStation way, right? They kind of put their blinders on and they're like, we're just moving forward, ignore everything that's happening out there, and just let's power through and make what we were planning to make to begin with, right? Rather than kind of like knowing these are video games, let's go ahead and adapt things here and there. Obviously, they're coming in for kind of the protagonist herself, right? But I can't help but kind of like apply it to everything else that they do, and they just continue on whatever path that they've been on, no matter what they hear from the audience, right?
Agreed. Yeah, you would think that it's like, at what point do you say to yourself, like, what am I making here?
Is it
Like,
for
am I making a
my
game or am I trying to make a
satisfaction
statement?
alone? Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. I'm going to just do whatever I want, because that mentality when it comes to sales, and again, it's to the detriment of PlayStation, right? So that mentality from the developers to not kind of, yeah, you can have obviously your artistic take, and you want to have your artistic expression when you're making these games, but you also know that you're trying to kind of attract an audience, and you got to cater to that as well. um but this is the same thing happened with, and obviously not about the protagonist, but obviously about the characters that they made for Concord. The same thing is happening now with this frog game that is being made. So it's just this lack of desire to listen to anything that other people want. So essentially, these developers and these studios are the ones digging the grave for PlayStation, from what we're hearing.
You know, I'm just I just feel like there's a certain part of this where you can look at it and be like, is this what I'm trying? Is this all about making a statement? For what statement are you trying to make here? Like, the fact that these people are knowing that there's going to be backlash, knowing that this is going to be like, they would think that they're making something important, but like, you're making a game. And at this point, I think we've had a bunch of games that are covering the spectrum, right? Like, we've got women, we have, masculine women, we got feminine women, we got dudes, we got all creatures, we got everything now, right? We've been getting a bunch of these games. I just don't know. I don't know. Why does everything have to be?
And I felt maybe
message,
it wasn't. Maybe he misphrased the situation. Maybe it wasn't Abby. I think Ghost of Yote, which was announced prior, got a lot of backlash because of the protagonist. So maybe that's something that was a bit more relatable to the situation with Intergalactic. When you want to do comparison, but Abby had a lot of baggage that people had an issue with. And even that, I'm not saying, and I'm not entertaining in any way the fact that these people should be acting crazy out here. I'm just talking about their approach when it comes to the audience. And obviously, they need people to show up and buy these games. So that line over there as to what we're essentially going to do, whatever we're set out to do, and it's going to be great, whether they like it or not, it's a bit ignorant, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. All right.
I mean, you do need people to buy it, no?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
And
I just feel like, that, like, PlayStation, like, you can make a great game without, like, what, and I'm not saying anything, but like, the big key point that people have a problem with is the shaved head, all this other bullshit, right? How does the game change if she didn't have a shaved head?
Agreed. But
you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's such a point of contention, and again, I look, again, it's whatever to me. I don't care either way. I told you I'm interested to see what this is going to be.
I
don't
am
like
too.
The way it's all. I don't like what's framing all this shit now, but I am interested to see what this is going to be. But it's like, what is it? What about it? Does that have a gameplay element to her that matters? I know people say that if she was she would do that, but like, Star Wars had the chick with hair, right?
I don't think, and I listen again, the game, I said it from what we saw, it looks good, right? And there is that curiosity. I don't have a problem with the protagonist or the shaved head or anything like that, but a lot of people have like made it known that they're not okay with it, right? So I'm just saying, from the perspective of I'm making a game that I want to attract an audience for, and I want it to sell, right? For the sake of my studio, for the sake of our brand, um, in for the sake of PlayStation, I don't understand. And it's funny because I feel like Neil himself may have a message that he feels a need to put out there. Maybe this is just a very personal situation. You think of Ellie, you think of Abby, you think of now what's her name, Gabriella,
Well, no, her name is Jordan in the game.
Jordan. And you kind of start to see a bit of a pattern on his take. And now you see the show and everything they're adding on to that. Maybe he feels a need to put certain things forward, and it's more of a personal thing. I don't know.
My thing, and we're gonna keep reading it because it
Mhm.
does go into like one of my problems with it is like what the game is about, or at least what it's like kind of, you know, using as the base, right? Like we know the first game he came out, he told us, right? The first game was about love, the second game was about hate, right? And yes, you do kind of grow this hate for the characters based off the game. But
And
it
you
is
see their
also
hatred for
people,
each
right?
other.
It's
Yeah.
people though. It's the relationships. It's a people thing that made you like or dislike or whatever
Mhm.
the case. But what they're trying to do with this game is not takes it away from the people, right? And
Yeah.
it brings it to a subject that frankly, most people don't care to just talk about in general because it's a very the divisive thing, just like politics and shit, right?
Yeah.
They're
I
gonna
can.
make this one about religion,
Yeah.
which is like I just don't understand. Like, what is the upset? Like, I don't know.
It does come off again like a personal agenda, like kind of like a obsessive situation. In The Last of Us as well, they had the different groups, and religion was something. There was a group that they call it kind of culty, religious, and they had their beliefs. They didn't believe in technology, right? So they they just have these takes of topics that they really want to kind of push. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's different to be like, here's this group of people and they have this religion that they believe in, but they're not like asking you to think about that religion or choose the religion or discuss the religion.
No.
It's just like backstory of the
Mhm.
bad guys to you, bad guys that you need to kill, right? It's just like this is who they are. That's why they don't use tech, right? It's just kind of like their explanation or their reason for doing it. Whereas, now I don't know. It just seems like they're trying to use it. All right, let's read what they say. So the actress also spoke more about the upcoming game's theme of faith. So that's the theme, faith. Okay, maybe it's I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Back in March of this year, Druckmann explained how Intergalactic, the heretic prophet, features a fictitious religion which becomes pretty prominent in the game's alternate history. The question of faith is not black and white, Gabriel elaborated. When you initially think of faith, you think of religion, which is a part of it, but there's also faith in oneself. There's faith in your environment or your community. All that faith means is, what are your beliefs? What are the things that you hope for? Faith sounds flowery, but we all experience it day in and day out. What is your reason for waking up? Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophets, in development for PlayStation 5. Last year, Druckmann confirmed Naughty Dog had a number of games in the work, including multiple single player projects, this being one of them. Elsewhere in studio news, Naughty Dog and HBO have just aired the 5th episode of The Last of Us Season 2. Okay, so honestly, faith makes it a little more confusing for me. Because what do you mean faith? Faith in wants yeah, I have faith in myself that I'm gonna beat this bad guy
Maybe her
or
circumstances, and kind of like, because it said towards the end what makes you wake up every day, or what keeps you waking up every day. What was the line? I forget. but it's almost like what drives you, what keeps you going. Maybe we're going to kind of see her story and what is going to keep her moving forward um through the trials and tribulations
Yeah,
that
but
she's
that's like
been
an
through, right?
inherent thing of playing video games, right?
Yes, I
Like
just
you're keeping the faith that you're gonna be able to do it, right? Like you're gonna be able to go on. Like
yeah.
what?
You mean that's like a personal thing of what keeps you going? I guess we're seeing her story.
Yeah,
We're gonna
meaning
see
like
her
their
story
previous
play out.
games, right?
Hmm.
You were invested in the character's story, but you grew feelings, right? So obviously, like Last of Us had that love, then the next one had the hate, and they were very strong feelings. You did grow attachment to these people, and that's what you kind of motivated you to move forward. Uncharted didn't have that, right? Uncharted, it had Nathan Drake, who
Yeah.
you just kind of him and man, what the fuck's that? Man, did I already forget these people's names? Jesus. Sam? No. What's the old guy's name? Damn it. I completely forgot his name, bro.
Let me see.
Oh, man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Forget him. Whatever. But the other characters, and you just saw their relationships, and you got to play a fun game, and then the story elements kind of went in, and that was dope, and that was cool. But like here, like I'm just not like I can't see how faith is going to be something that we're going to watch somebody else have. And how would that matter? You know what I'm saying? Like keep the faith. Okay, cool. But like you're just playing the game, right? So you could assume that every character you ever played in your life who had a mission is
a
keeping the
belief.
faith
Yeah.
that they would succeed or that they would do something. What is going to be unique about this? Why? Because she's going to say it a bunch of times. Are people going to say it a bunch of times? Keep faith. Keep the
I mean,
faith.
she might be struggling with her whatever her faith is, whatever she may be struggling with it, or she may be challenging
But she's a
faith of
bounty
others.
hunter. You know what I'm saying? Like what? She's keeping the faith that she won't get killed. She's keeping the faith that she'll get paid when she does the bounty. She like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's this bigger.
Maybe she's like
unveil
struggling with her
happen.
faith because her being a bounty hunter goes against her, belief system.
She looked pretty chill going ahead and having her soda, slurping. She's rocking the what was it, Adidas? She had the
Yeah, her
torch.
aura comes off, her energy comes off very like
anti-faith.
Kind of confident, a bit
like just faith in herself, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Hmm.
It just seems it just seems like it's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you brought up certain things that are divisive in video games, and I think that the idea of kicking back and playing a video game, I mean, it's not to, and especially with social media, it's not to go ahead and have all of these discussions, right? Necessarily.
I mean, and again, it's just I guess it's just hard for me to wrap my head around. Like it's easy for me to see like the idea of love. Like I saw Joel and Ellie, and that made sense,
Well,
right?
yeah,
like the love
and that
between
they
them.
did it so well.
You
You
can see
know, you see how he lost his daughter,
exactly,
and you feel that pain, and you see him go through it, and then kind of find a similar connection with Ellie, and kind of grow that. That's what it's so heavy about that game, right?
Yeah,
then
and then the
how
same
it kind of
thing
turns out.
the same thing with part 2 and the hate, and you can see why the hate grows and why the hate is there, and it all just kind of like it makes sense. I can't see like in my mind where like where this comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like where, like what can faith, like how can you play faith? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and
Assassin's
see.
Creed has the leap of faith,
it's-
right? Is that what this is? Am I gonna just jump off of stuff and hope?
Yeah, but that still doesn't. I think the idea that maybe some people have an issue with her shaving her head, right? That still doesn't keep you like. Is this something that is necessary for the story? I think that's the root of it, right? Is this something that even though or are you just not compromising your work because you don't necessarily believe that if you change things, those people that are making noise out there are going to show up anyways? Like, what is the issue with kind of like seeing how people are reacting over changes that may not necessarily be substantial to your storytelling? I think, right?
Yeah.
Unless they are. So that's what we don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Farrell?
I just think as the character, the setting, and the concept, from what we know so far, it just isn't resonating with a lot of people. Like, you just don't know who is this targeting, who wants to play this type of game, who wants to be a part of this type of story. And like, these games like 30, 40 hours long. Like, do you want to, a 30, 40-hour game of walking around with this character, struggling with their faith or their identity or whatever as a bounty hunter? Like, it's kind of, like I said, it kind of puts PlayStation in a bad spot, because like, he plans on leaving. He's not cleaning up the mess of this game if it's a flop.
Thank you. Thank
Like,
you.
It's like, maybe walk out the door with something a little less controversial.
I have to agree with that. I feel like, you're kind of just making a splash and letting PlayStation deal with it. And that's where my curiosity kind of kicked in as to, is this just kind of the approach that they all have, right? When it comes to the games that they're making, we're not listening, we're not compromising our vision, whether people like it or not. And essentially what this ripples down to is PlayStation and that brand and their ability to continue to produce games and keep these studios going. I mean, it's messy.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, when you hear, what's that dude's name? The crazy looking dude. You hear what Neil is saying here, and then the other one,
Which one, Herman?
Herman, yes, thank you. And it's like, how is this mentality going to help you guys move forward with what you're trying to do? Because again, Farrell, you brought it up. This may be his last game, right? This guy's on his way out.
Yeah.
So this should not have been a decision on Naughty Dog. Hey, we can either support Factions 2 or you can go ahead and make your new game. No, we already invested in Factions 2. The world's waiting for it. We're going to support that, see how that takes, and then we'll see if Intergalactic has a chance after that, if this game does well. I think that their fate should have been in their hands, not up to Neil or the studio. When I'm hearing this, I have to I'm trying to fix my monitor, you guys, because I keep getting kicked out. So that's the stance I would have taken. At the end of the day, if I'm Hiroki Tobroki, right, and I'm sitting there and I'm hearing this and I know that I've put out money already, why would I waste that? Why would I not go ahead and use what I already have, right? And I'm in right now, but it'll kick me out in a second. Why would I waste the money that I've already spent to go and spend more money? This is not, this should not have been up to them. This is up to me and what I want to do. The money was spent. Let's go ahead and support Factions 2. And according with on how it does and what happens with that, whether you're going to have a chance to make Intergalactic or not. Like, obviously, they're not funding, these studios are not funding their own games.
Yeah.
Same thing with the other freaking clown, Herman. Right? Oh,
Yeah.
he's running around Concord. It's freaking cancel everything over Concord. No, slow down. Let's see what we've invested on and what maybe should be out there. Something with Spider-Man, freaking for sure. A freaking multiplayer Spider-Man. Get the heck out of here. Obviously, people would have responded to that. To be able to play together, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing with these decision makings? Maybe these clowns should not have that much power.
Agreed. And
Yeah.
they're just jeopardizing the game and the future of it. Also real wild for him to make a new IP and then leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And obviously, considering the conversations that he had with her, he already knows in the direction that this is kind of going. And it's kind of very selfish to go ahead and keep pushing and saying, okay, well, this is just what we're doing, when he knows that he's done.
Facts. He has said it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The homie Fillmore Pockets in the building.
Fillmore.
Thank you, brother, for being here. Says the subtext in Star Wars was about faith. Luke had to have faith in himself and the Force. It could be completely ignored and it would still work. Neil should have taken that approach. That's what I'm saying.
Like that.
So it feels more self-serving
Mhm.
than really wanting to tell this story that happens to be based on this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Coming out here saying it is pretty wild. Look, this game is already in a bad place brand wise, right? Nothing was really shown, and they could show a trailer that completely fucking blows my mind, and I could be in a different world right now. This trailer looked great, but I know that this was all cutscene,
Mhm.
right? So like
It did look great, but
it
yeah,
looked
you're
great,
right.
but I need that to now. I have faith in Naughty Dog. I like Naughty Dog a lot, so I believe that they can produce graphics like this because it's not out of the realm of what graphics should look like today.
I believe they can with a big budget. I don't know what
Just
kind of
whether
budget
they
they have
did.
right now,
Exactly.
and I don't know how they can adapt to that, and what they will have to cut out or focus on versus not. So that's
Exactly.
the question.
So it's like, you know, again, one amazing trailer can flip the whole narrative here. But as it is right now, you're just kind of digging. And when, you know, the thing is, it could flip the narrative for me, but some other people might be like, I don't give a fuck what you show me. I'm already
Yeah.
out. Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of people are just completely checked out, and it doesn't matter what approach you take. If you listen or not, they may be done. Some people may not and may still be interested. But I think that's all a gamble. Just like, you know, they were willing to come out here and gamble with what they showed us. But listen, the focus of this situation is the backlash, right? I don't think anybody should be harassing anybody. This is her job. She's doing her job. She signed up for it, and she shouldn't have to deal with people on a daily basis sending nasty freaking messages and a bunch of bullshit just because you can't handle her character or what you think her character will be. That's ridiculous.
I mean, it's not, she looks how she looks.
Mhm.
She was cast in this role, right?
Mhm.
Not her fucking fault that this is what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have hair in the other show. Maybe that this is what they said. I want.
Didn't have hair in the Uncharted movie either.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
there
He
you
wasn't
go.
completely bald, but it was short.
close enough.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you know, clearly she at some point might have hair because she shaves it off. So we don't
Mhm.
know if that's the way the game starts or if you play a part and she has hair and if she doesn't, whatever. The point is that they're not doing themselves any fucking service here. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are they're digging the hole deeper? Okay, like just start fucking looking at it. Like, listen, this is not terrorist shit. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't go and back down from terrorism, whatever it is. I get that shit for sure, but like this is like gaming. Like even movies. Look at Sonic, right? Sonic, they made the character look a certain way, and the world said the fuck you will, and then they changed it. And guess what? Sonic is chilling. He's doing good. Living his best life, making more movies. more popular
Movies,
than
spin-off
he's ever been.
shows, all types of shit. Yeah.
But that's the
Dude,
thing,
our
you
son
know.
likes Sonic well over. He didn't even know what Mario is. Like, he don't even care what Mario is, but he loves Sonic.
Yeah.
Just saying they did something right, and they listen
Shadow
to feedback.
he loves most.
Yeah, Sonic, Shadow, all of them, right? They listened to feedback, and they made the change. And that shit
Mhm.
was about to come out,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Hold up, we can't put this out to die." And
That's
it's
the
like, I
thing.
don't get these like this like self-righteous bullshit. Like, this is my art. It's like, yeah, but it's a game that you want people to buy, right? It's art. You just look at it, and you either like it or you don't, but you move on, right? You don't buy the art, you see the art, and then if you want to buy it, sure. But for video games, it's like you buy the game, you want to play the game, and if the world is telling you like we don't want this, how important is it? I don't know.
I would think that plays a major factor. But you know, I mean, it can also be, can they just give you customization? Can you just have some options? Like, is that going to
not if they want to have
even
a scene
be
with her cutting off the hair.
Yeah, I guess so. Because you can also just take that approach and you're giving people the option to do what they want to do.
Agreed.